Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really interesting condition where your body's own defense system gets tricked into attacking itself, and the trigger is a protein found in foods we eat every day. This is the story of celiac disease. So let's just jump right in with a question. I mean, think about it. What if a simple sandwich, something most of us don't think twice about, could actually cause your body to launch an attack on itself? Well, for millions of people, that's not some crazy hypothetical. It's the daily reality of living with celiac disease. To really get what's going on, we need to understand what I'm calling the gluten paradox. We're going to look at the two key players here, the thing that sets this whole process off and the body's, well, kind of dramatic overreaction. First up, let's meet the culprit, gluten. You've heard of it, right? It's just a protein that's found in super common stuff like wheat, rye, and barley. So yeah, it's in your bread, your pasta, even your beer. For most of us, no big deal. But for some, gluten is basically a declaration of war. And that leads us right to the disease itself. Now, this is really, really important to get. Celiac disease is not just a food allergy or some kind of intolerance. No, it is a full-blown autoimmune reaction that is specifically kicked off by eating gluten. So this brings us to the real heart of the problem, what we can call a case of mistaken identity. Let's take a closer look at how the body's own security system can get things so incredibly wrong. You know, this picture tells you pretty much everything you need to know. On the left, you see a healthy small intestine. It's covered in these little finger-like things called villi. Their job is to create a huge surface area to soak up all the nutrients from your food. But now look at the right. In a person with celiac, the immune system has attacked and flattened those villi. It's literally like turning a lush, dense forest into a barren wasteland. And as you can imagine, that has some serious consequences. And yup, here's that domino effect. When the villi are damaged, your body just can't absorb fats and other critical nutrients properly. This can lead to some major deficiencies. And for kids, the impact is even more severe. It can actually slow down or even stunt their growth. One of the biggest problems is not getting enough of what we call fat-soluble vitamins. And hey, here's an easy way to remember them. Just think of the letters A, D, E, and K. You can even remember the word ADEC. See, because your body isn't absorbing fat correctly, these super important vitamins can't get absorbed either. Okay, so we've seen the damage happening on the inside, but how does this show up on the outside? Let's move on to reading the signs. What does a person with celiac disease actually feel? The main symptoms are a direct result of the body not absorbing nutrients. We're talking diarrhea, stomach pain, and a very specific sign called steatorrhea. It's a medical term, but it just means fatty stools, which happens because your body can't absorb the fat from your food. They're often described as greasy, really foul-smelling, and sometimes they might even float. It's a pretty clear signal that something's not right. And look, while these symptoms are tough for anyone, it is absolutely critical to catch them in kids. Why? Because their bodies are trying to grow. And if they aren't getting the nutrients they need, it can lead to much more serious problems like weight loss, not growing as tall as they should, and even delayed puberty. So if gluten is the trigger, what's the fix? Well, that takes us to our last section, living gluten-free. This is all about how you manage the disease day to day. So what's the treatment? It's a strict, lifelong, gluten-free diet. And no, this isn't a temporary thing, it's a permanent lifestyle change. It means saying goodbye to things like whole wheat bread, regular pasta, beer, and even breaded meats. But there is a whole world of awesome gluten-free foods out there. Think plain meats, rice, corn, potatoes, soy, quinoa. The goal is pretty simple. You take away the trigger and you give the body a chance to heal. All right, let's wrap this up with a little knowledge check. This one's from our source material. Imagine a patient who was just diagnosed with celiac disease, goes to a restaurant and orders spaghetti with meat sauce and whole wheat noodles. What does this tell you? Think about it for a sec. The answer is that this person definitely needs some more instruction about their diet, right? Because the spaghetti is made from wheat and the whole wheat noodles, well, they're also wheat. Both are packed with gluten. And this really gets to the final, most important takeaway. For someone with celiac disease, every single meal is a conscious choice. It requires constant learning and paying attention. It's a powerful reminder that for some of us, food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. What other conditions can you think of where the